ride with us, ride with us. Oh yeah.
Hey everyone in the YouTube world, my name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Welcome to my Flying Wheels YouTube channel. Today you'll see behind me an absolute turd, a 2006 Nissan Altima with 172,000 miles. And a lot of you might be thinking that thing is junk. Go bring it to the junkyard. What the heck are you gonna do with that thing? I'm gonna show you today how to make $1,000 off any car. Now, a lot of you guys are viewers getting into the business, wanting to learn how to become a car dealer, learning how to get your dealer's license, or just plain want a side hustle. You might be flipping cars on the side just for fun. Buy a car, drive it, sell a car. Now, this right here isn't something that I normally sell at my car dealership. A lot of times we sell better vehicles than this. But when I first got into this business, I didn't have a lot of money. Like many of you might not have a ton of money be throwing around at cars. So this is how I started. A car like this would have been one of the first cars that I would have flipped when I was getting into this business. This is a 2006 Nissan Altima with 176,000 miles, 4-cylinder automatic. Now, I paid $300 for this car. And you might also be thinking, Craig, where am I going to find cars for $300? They're everywhere, okay? The day of a $1,000 car really is non-existent, except, I don't know, you kind of have to look past you have to look past everyone else and see the beauty in everything. So I consider it kind of an art of mine, a talent, a skill to find the beauty in everything, especially with vehicles. So a car like this, I can see past that terrible hood. I know that that mirror right there is going to be a $40 mirror on eBay. And here are the benefits that I found. It has excellent tires. It has alloy wheels. Before Nissan was absolute junk, this was a great car. This was a car that goes 250,000 miles plus on the original engine, on the original transmission. This is was an excellent car. So let's start off with step one. How are you going to find a car for $300? Well, this one I took in trade. Okay, I took it in as a trade-in for $300. Not all of you have the availability to take cars in on trade. It could have been a $300 auction car too, but once again, you might not have the opportunities to go to the auction and buy cars for $300. So how else do you do it? Put an ad out. I buy junk cars. I buy scrap cars. Look around for cars that look like this and make offers for people. Somebody might have that car sitting in their yard and not want anything to do with it and might give it to you for free. So they are out there. You just have to think creatively, have to know how to get these cars really, really cheap. Now, again, this isn't something I typically sell. I took this in trade almost a year ago. And because it's not something I'm going to sell at my shop, I parked it in the corner of my lot at my other place and I forgot about it. Well, a bunch of people have been asking how to buy cheap cars and how to make $1,000 on every car. Well, imagine spending $300 and making $1,000. It's not that easy. I spent $300 on that car. I still have to spend my time and spend my money. I'm not just going to flip it the way it looks right here. Could I? Maybe, but it's unrealistic. The buyers that are going to come out and look at this are going to be really disappointed. They're going to pick it apart. It's going to be a real pain in the butt for you. So over the course of the next few days, I'm going to start going through this car. And the first thing I'm going to do is put it up on a lift. Now, I have already done that on this car, but when I get it, the first thing I would do is make sure it's safe. And you should probably do that before you purchase the car. And with any Nissan Altima, the first thing I'm going to do is check underneath, because the floor is rot. And you'll see a little bit of rust right there, but the floors are solid, which is not typical in New England for a car like this. Now, I know when I bought it, I looked at it. Obviously, why would you buy a car without looking at it? So I looked at it, I put it on the lift, I drove it. I knew that it runs well. I know that it's not rotted. So even though it has 176,000 miles, I know it still has potential to be a great car. Now look at the inside. It is nasty. Is that body filth or is it, who the heck knows what it is? I mean, the car is gross, but gross cars are the cars that make money. Look at these seats. I'm going to show you something that stands out to me. See those floor mats? Those are Altima floor mats. Those are the original Altima floor mats. So yeah, the car looks like it has been neglected, but it's 14 years old and has 170,000 miles and still has the original Altima floor mat. So somebody either owned this for a long period of time or cared enough to not completely destroy it. I'm saying that wrong because it's pretty gross. It looks destroyed. Okay, so let's say you've hunted down that deal on Craigslist. If Craigslist is still even a thing, you've hunted down that deal on Marketplace. If somebody has a car for sale it's going to be tough for you to get a great deal like $300, $400, $500 on a car like this. But spending $1,000, spending $1,200 to make $1,000, that's 100% profit. That's still a pretty damn good deal. Now we spend $300 on this car. Say I didn't find it on Facebook Marketplace, I didn't find it on Craigslist, because those people already want to sell their car. They already know what they want for a price. Let's just say I found this at the grocery store parking lot, or I was driving down the road and I saw it sitting on the side of somebody's house for weeks and weeks and weeks not moving, or sitting in somebody's driveway and you've noticed it. That's the car you want. Go knock on their door. Say, hey, what's up with this car sitting here? I'll give you $125 for it. Can I take it to the junkyard for you? They might give it to you. Can I get it out of here and take it to the junkyard for you? Now they're giving you a car for free and you have it towed to your house or your shop or whatever. Well, hey, scrap is $150. What if I double it and I'll give you $300, double what the junkyard will give you? Now you get a car like this for $300. So that's how you get your cars cheap. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Let's think of it as flipping houses. Do you go on Realtor.com to go buy a fixer-upper to flip? No, you look around. You look around for the beat-up cars, the beat-up houses, and you go make offers to the owners. Same thing on cars. And it doesn't matter if it's a $300 car, a $500 car, $5,000 car, or $25,000 car. Go talk to the owners. Look around for the things that not everybody's looking for, and that's how you're going to find what's going to make you money. So we're going to take this back to the shop. Now, I've already driven it this morning. It runs great. It's not clean, but it runs well. It shifts smoothly. All of those are perks right now. You can see the paint is faded. The clear coat's faded all over, which I will take care of. Now, when I lived in Florida, I used to be able to have entire cars painted at Maaco for $300. So I'm into this car for $600. If I had bought this for $300 and paid to have it painted for $300, I'm into it for $600, where it has a brand new paint job that makes it look like a $2,000 car. That alone is worth the $300. Now, there's no Maaco, there's no paint shops around here. They're going to paint a car for $300 for me, but I can go to my local paint store, get the paint coat on this car, which is right here when I open the door. See that number right there, KH3? That's the paint code for this car. I mean, it's just black. I can go to Harbor Freight or Lowe's or Home Depot and get a paint gun and a compressor. A paint gun will cost me $10 at Harbor Freight. So paint, $30 to $50, a paint gun, $10, some tape, some sandpaper. I could have this car painted. I'm not gonna paint the whole car, but I can have the roof, the hood, and the trunk painted for like $100. It's worth doing, because everyone that's gonna look at that, that's the first thing they're gonna see and it's the first thing they're gonna walk away from. Now think of it this way. People buy with their eyes. What's the first thing they're gonna notice? It has a broken mirror with a dangling wire over here. The paint is all faded. The seats are all stained. Well, you can spend a weekend in your driveway cleaning this car up. Now, that's what I used to do. When I first started, I would clean this car in my driveway and detail the heck out of it. I'd paint it in my front yard, and then I'd list it for sale. Realistically, you can have this car turned around in 7 days. And the best thing about a $300 car, you have nothing to lose. What's the worst that happens? You lose your $300 and then you bring it to the junkyard and get $150, so you only lost $150. Now, I'm not saying $300 cars are always the best way to go, but when you have no money, you have to start somewhere. And again, this isn't what I sell now, but when I first started, this is the stuff I was into. $300, $500, $700, $1,000 cars, and I'd turn them for $2,000. Now you're making 100% plus profit on your money. I'm not making 100% profit on my cars nowadays. $5,000 to $25,000 cars don't make 100% profit. I wish they did. But these cars do. Now we're thinking, let's say on a $500 investment, you make 100% profit. You spend $500, you make $500. That's 100% profit. If I spend $5,000, I don't make 100% anymore. I'm not making $5,000 on a $5,000 car. That's unrealistic, and that doesn't happen anymore. But if I make $2,500 or $2,000 on a $5,000 investment, that's still pretty amazing. 50% investment, a 50% return on an investment like that is pretty amazing. So you gradually step up. If you don't have a lot of money, start with something small like this and work your way up, just like myself. And now I have a lot of, I don't know, 50-something cars that range from $5,000 to $25,000, and it happens organically, it happens naturally, all from something like this. So you'll see here it has 176,000 miles. We have an ABS light on. We have a service engine soon light on. It feels like it has a slight hesitation, so possibly a misfire in one of the cylinders. So the first thing I'm going to do with this mileage anyway is replace all 4 spark plugs, which is so simple. And I'll also do the coil packs because they're coming out anyway. But here's the great news.
Chester.
Radio works, all the windows work, heat and AC work. Everything is there. I mean, nothing is broken inside the car. It's It's just dingy and dirty, which is the best car to buy. I love buying dirty cars and making them look good. That's the easiest thing to do when buying and flipping cars. Buy them dirty, clean them, and sell them. It's the motor work and the transmission work and the real mechanicals, when those go, or the rot, that's time consuming, that's money consuming, those are headaches. So you want stuff that run well, that are dirty. That is the key. And again, think about it. People are buying with their eyes. So when they see something like this, nobody wants it. And when you see this and you can look past the filth and know what you can do, know the opportunity for this vehicle, the money's in it for you. So I'm thinking, let's see, I spent $300 on the car. I'm thinking I'm probably going to be $300 to $400 into the car, so I'll be $700-ish when I'm said and done, finished with this. Now, if I put all my own time, it would save me a lot of money. So if you have the time to invest in the vehicle, you should do it. I'm going to pay an auto detailer to come out and take care of this car for me because I have other things to do. But I have you call a phone number, they come out, they clean your car for you. So if this is a side hustle for you and you don't have a lot of time, you could pay other people to do your job for you, but remember that cuts into your profits. So you're paying somebody $100 to $120 to clean a car. What's that $120 worth to you? I mean, what's your time worth? Is it worth you saving the $120 and cleaning it yourself? Probably, and when I first started it was, and that's what I was doing on my own. Now here's something a lot of people don't think about. Porsche Cayenne Twin Turbo, very, very specific buyer. 2013 Dodge Challenger Hemi, very, very specific buyer. '08 Jeep Wrangler lifted, again, very specific buyer. All of which are over $10,000, all of which are over, about $15,000 plus on each car. You have to find a buyer that has $15,000 or has decent enough credit to get financed, and if they don't, they have to have a decent enough down payment to buy a car and afford their payments on this. So it's a lot harder to carry something like this, hold it, take up your time and take up your money on your parking lot, because each spot's valuable. Now, not everybody has the money to spend on a car like that. Here's the key, though. Something like this, everybody can come up with $2,000. All right, so that car, when we're finished, if I list it for $1995, everyone has $2,000 some way or another. And tax season's coming up, so those tax refunds come back, which are $2,000 plus. So that car, when I'm finished with it in 1 week, is gonna fly. So when you see the Porsche, the Hemi, and the Wrangler, I might sit on that for 2 months before I find the right person. This car will sell in a week because people aren't specifically looking for an Altima. They're specifically looking for a car they can drive that's clean for $2,000. Somebody that wants those, specifically. So I have to find those buyers. This, I just have to find somebody that has $2,000 that wants a decent car. So you'll see, so far, we just hire subcontractors, so we hire an auto detailer to come out and clean the car, pull the seats out, power wash the seats, so everything's getting done thanks to this. Now again, I said it already, what's your time worth? If that was my one and only car, I would be working on that myself, but it's not. I have this many cars that all need something, so I have a laundry list, a to-do list that I make every day that I'm always going through and chipping away at. But what I can have a guy like that do something for me to help me make my job easier, it's well worth it for me. Might not be for you. If you can take your time to go take care of that, save you some time, save you some money. Won't save you some time, but it'll save you some money to do it. So in the back end, you get more money in your pocket. But on my end, when I'm working on so many of these things, if I'm just focusing on that Altima, I'd never get the more important things that actually make more money done. Seats are out. Look at that. Gross. So you saw what the seats looked like before. Check them out now. So we're a couple hours in and it's 30 degrees and he's still going to town on it. So I'm on Amazon right now and you can see for $31, I can have a passenger power mirror shipped to my door by Saturday. Now today is Tuesday, Wednesday. So I can have it this week shipped to my door for $31. Now they're actually even cheaper on eBay, but I want it done on Prime. I want it here quicker. So here we go. The car is detailed. Look at the inside. Now everybody saw these seats before. Uh-oh. Can you get that for me? And here's what it looks like after. We have the seat out, obviously, so it can dry. The car is beautiful now. And I'm going to have Alyssa DA sand, DA meaning dual action, sand the clear coat off. And everybody is going to say, Craig, why did you have this car detailed before you sanded the paint and did the bodywork. And I'm going to tell you why, is because I like to start fresh. I like to have a clean slate. We have a clean car. Now all we need to do is the bodywork, so I can tape and mask everything off except the hood and the trunk and the tailgate and go through it from there. So when we're finished painting everything, it's going to look excellent because the detailing has already been done. We're not going to get all the debris from the bodywork and the paint on to the new car. Wait a minute, backwards. We're not going to get all the detailing dirt onto the new fresh paint. Alyssa, hold up what you're holding in your hand. That is a dual action sander. When you push the palm part right here, it activates the rotation. Now it not only rotates in one direction, but it goes up and down, dual action. So we're going to use that on our roof and trunk. I'm saying this backwards. Our hood, our roof, and our trunk. We're going to sand that clear coat right down. All right, they stick on. So stick that right on the back of that. Those DA sanders can be purchased very inexpensively at any of your hardware stores, or you can get good ones that are obviously very expensive. So Alyssa has finished sanding it smooth. So we have a flat surface all the way across. The glossy areas still need to be scuffed, and then we're going to wash it. And here is the Ultima washed, dried, and prepped for paint. I'll stay in the office while she's getting all dusty. Whatever step we're at now, car is masked and taped. It has been cleaned. It has been prepped, ready for paint. I've already taught you how to paint in a previous video. If you're not watching all my videos, shame. Watch all my videos, but I'm going to teach you how to paint again. I always keep a gallon of gloss black single stage in-house because we're always painting something in black. But you can get them in quart size and pint size depending on the vehicle. I've showed you where to get the paint code, so it's not just black or not just white. You can get the paint code matched specifically to your car at an auto body supply store. So we have our single stage paint, we have our hardener, and we have our reducer. The difference between a single stage paint and a base coat clear coat, so something like this, base coat, we spray the base coat on a few coats, then we spray clear coat on a few coats, that's two stage, base clear. Pearl, which I've said in the previous video, is tri-coat. We have our base, our pearl, our clear. We're using single stage. Single stage is paint and clear in one. It's nice and easy and very inexpensive. So I keep it on hand for stuff like this. Inexpensive cars, rocker panels, low bumpers, small areas that I can blend later. So I have single stage, hardener, and reducer. A gun like this, now we have good quality guns, but a gun like this you can get at Harbor Freight for $10. In most cars, you'd see us blend a base coat, blend a clear coat, follow body panels. If I'm painting a door, I'll paint a door and blend clear coat into the other door so it all looks consistent. A car like this, a car in this price range, I don't want to say it this way, but everything's done a little less. Everything's done a little bit cheaply because it has to be cost effective. The more I spend, the more the price goes up, the less the buyers want to pay for it. So I have to keep everything cost effective for me, which keeps it cost effective for the buyers. So I'm going to paint the hood, the roof, the trunk, and I'm going to blend this panel down to here where you can already see that it's clear and glossy. So I'm going to blend it to here and then we can wet sand and buff it later on. If you remember, I said that Standard Shift Dodge Dart has a millennial anti-theft device, which is a standard transmission. When you went to move it, you told me the battery was dead. Why?
I didn't say that.
Because you didn't know how to drive a Standard and didn't realize you had to push the... Wait 15 minutes per coat, so I'm going to wait 15 minutes for it to get tacky so the paint sticks to the second coat, and the second coat sticks to the first coat. If I put too much on at once, it's going to get heavy and it's going to run. So if I wait 15 minutes to get tacky, the second coat is going to actually adhere to the first coat and make a better bond. Plus it gives time for the first coat to cure a little bit. when holding the spray gun, 6 to 10 inches away, straight up and down, in either direction. Don't fan it up this way, don't fan it out like this. Amazon Prime, 2-day delivery. Yes. Mirrors on, covers going on, and then we are finished. So we had it detailed, but obviously the new black is fresh black glossy, and the side is like clean but kind of dull. German's buffing. Look at the front fender now. Door unbuffed, front fender buffed. So guess what I'm driving? Yep, the Nissan Altima 24-hour turnaround was pretty realistic. So I bought it. I bought it a long time ago, but I started it yesterday morning. I had the mirror ordered. I knew the parts that I needed to order. So it's also about efficiency. I had it detailed yesterday. I had it painted last night. The paint's dry, I guess 48 hours, so it took me 2 full days. Donezo. Now, when I say done, I didn't just flip a car, I didn't just flip a piece of junk. You can see I invest a lot of time into these cars, and you can do this on your own. So yes, I have the resources to have other people do my job, but it's because I'm floating 30 plus cars at a time. I have 30 cars that I have to do more work to figure out the problems and make sure they're repaired, so I delegate the responsibilities to other people to have them done. If you're doing one at a time, like I used to when I first started this business, I was doing each one step by step. Now, I could have detailed this car yesterday, just like I paid someone else to do. I could have painted it last night. I could have put the mirror on today, finished up the detailing and all the repairs, and then I'm good to go. So yes, a 48-hour turnaround is pretty realistic. The result, are you ready for the reveal? Are you? Ready? Reveal? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Voila, look at this cream puff. Here's a quick walk around. Did I do everything to make the car perfect? Absolutely not. The more I invest into the car, the more I'm gonna have to ask for the car, and still people aren't gonna wanna pay for it. So you have to pick and choose what you're doing. Did I make it safe? Absolutely, yes I did. Did I make it clean for somebody? Abso-freaking-lutely I did. So look at the side of the body. Now you guys saw what this thing looked like when we first got it. Everything was buffed, everything was polished, and then we did, obviously, you know, we did the hood, roof, and trunk. But this is probably one of the best before and afters I have ever done. Look at the tires on it. See, I pulled that dent a little bit, and even still, you can see right here, there's a little bit of a rust bubble right here. And if I go over here, a little bit right here, but it's not rotten, it's not junk, it's not worth me putting the time into to really get my money back. I'm not gonna get my money back on stuff like that. People are still gonna buy it. So you can see 2.5S Special Edition. Wait till you see the inside. Wait for this, wait for this. Look at this. The carpets, the seats are still wet from yesterday. Carpets, original Special Edition carpets. No check engine lights, automatic transmission. Look at these back seats. Remember these back seats? This is what it looks like now. Carpets came out perfectly. Floor mats came out perfectly. Again, floor mats, seats. Car is beautiful now. This is the best part. Ready? Look at how clean the engine is. So here's another one that's a perfect example of what I've been talking about. It's a 99 Toyota Camry, 4-cylinder automatic with 155,000 miles. I paid $800 for this thing, I think, and it had a little bit of rust on the door, driver door, which we patched in some new metal, and it has some exhaust work that needed to be done that would cost me about $220. So I'll be into this car for about $1,000, and I'll have a good running 99 Camry with 150,000 miles that I can sell to somebody. Now look at these tires. Tires are in great shape. Now this car came in very similar condition to how the Altima came into us. It was pretty dirty, pretty rough looking. It was ugly when it showed up. And now look at it. Everything is clean on this car now. There's really no reason a buyer could look at it and object. It's so freaking cold out. It's middle of February and it is like 0 degrees out. So this is what I'm talking about. These cars aren't perfect, but they're good, reliable cars that are short money. Now, I'll bring this over to my cheap car lot. We sell stuff for under $2,500 at that lot, and these things fly off the shelves because, like I said, people don't necessarily want a very specific car for $2,000. They want a good, reliable car for $2,000. It doesn't matter if it's a Honda or a Toyota or a Ford or a Chevy. If it's a good, clean car for $2,000, they'll buy it. Versus $25,000, that buyer knows exactly what they want. Now, these things are all over to be found. You have to look past the ugly. You have to have a vision to see past the ugly to know what you're buying. Because if it was pretty already, there's going to be buyers for it. If it's ugly, or if you can find it on the side of the road or fix the problems yourself, there's a market to make some money and really progress in this business. Now, we didn't just make it pretty. I did 4 spark plugs, all 4 ignition coils. So we did do a tune-up. We checked all the fluids. Tires were good. Oil was clean. It had just recently been changed. Tire pressure was good. Air filter was clean. And these are things I looked at when I purchased the car. So I either plan on investing that money into it when I buy it, or I know that it has or hasn't been done. We also did a battery. So I'm into it for plugs and coils. I'm into it for a battery. I'm into it for detailing. I'm into it for a mirror. And I'm into it for 2 days of my time. Now, I'm going to list this thing on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. I'm going to put it on OfferUp. So all the free pages are typically where it's a good place to sell all your cheap stuff. So I'm going to list this thing for $2,000, and I'm going to sell it in a matter of a couple days. Now, this isn't the stuff that I typically sell. I think I've said that a few times. I sell a lot of cars between $5,000 and $25,000 because they're a lot less headaches. Cars in this price range are a huge headache, as well as the buyers. The buyers are an absolute headache because they have $2,000, and that's every dollar that they want to spend or that they can spend, and they saved for it, and they want the most out of the car that they can get. Now, they're looking at like $45,000 to $5,000 cars, and they want to spend $2,500. But when I get in that $2,000 price range, it is what it is. You can be picky, but not too picky. So do what needs to be done to make sure it's safe for somebody. Do what needs to be done to make sure it's presentable for somebody. Remember, people buy with their eyes. So if you make the car pretty, right off the bat, that first impression is going to be great. And then go with the mechanicals from there, but spend wisely. Not everything has to be done on a car in this price range. Like if you see my Denali video, that Denali was $25,000. Was it worth doing the brand new tires? Was it worth doing the front and rear pearl painted bumpers? Yes, it absolutely was, and it sold the truck because as soon as people came out with that $25,000, they wanted perfection. So when I made it perfect, it sold. So it sold in a matter of a couple days because of it. In this price range, $2,000, it is what it is. You're going to get very picky buyers, but they're on a budget, so they have to sacrifice certain things. And if you can sell them on what they should sacrifice for the reasons of a good car, then you're going to sell it. So I'm going to put this thing up for sale. It's going to sell in a matter of a couple days. Guys, that is how you flip cheap cars. If this was helpful, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up so other people get to see this video. Help me grow my channel so I can continue to help you. Thank you, everybody. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe down below. I'll see y'all later. Adios.